Good, happy Saturday evening, January 30th, 2021. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Saturday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to you this Saturday evening, but first we're going to check and take a look at your weather forecast this evening. And today, it was very chilly out there today. Very cold and chilly. The forecast for tonight is clear, calm, and cold. And tomorrow, sunny start in the afternoon and then clouds. Let's get a full weather forecast from meteorologist Chris Glonginger from NECN. Let's take a look at that weather forecast right now.
Wind and coastal flooding, the other two ingredients coming into this powerful coastal storm that we're expecting. Maybe not the 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts that we can sometimes see for the outer Cape, but still some strong winds nonetheless. They ramp up by noontime into southern Connecticut from Bridgeport all the way to Mystic and New London, wind gusts on the plus side of 40 miles per hour, and then they go up to over 50 by 4 or 5 o'clock. And out towards Nantucket, approaching 60 miles per hour. Going into Monday evening, a howling east wind that may get up to almost 70 miles per hour by 8:30 p.m. Up into the Worcester Hills, the higher elevations in Worcester County may gust to over 40 miles per hour, and then into Groton and New London about 60 miles per hour, 61 for the Vineyard. And the winds continue to pick up. In Boston, for example, you may near 60 miles per hour with that east to northeast wind, and those winds continue into the first part of Tuesday morning. Watching multiple high tide cycles, and the issue with that is the water isn't able to flush back out into the ocean, and that means there's still water left over from high tide for the next high tide cycle, and that could exacerbate the flood situation. We're talking inundation at times around high tide, pockets of moderate coastal flooding. Currently, we're expecting minor flooding all the way from the down east region of Maine to the western side of Long Island Sound. It's going to be difficult to pinpoint the areas that see moderate coastal flooding. As we get closer to the event, we'll be able to fine-tune that forecast. It's cold tonight, below zero across parts of northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. And then tomorrow we're back into the 20s to low 30s into southern New England, winds that are calm. And then on Monday, that warmer air moves into the coast, 40 in Hyannis. Meanwhile, we're still holding on to cold weather into the interior. That's where we expect some snow or significant snow to fall. And there's your exclusive 10-day forecast, Monday and Tuesday. First alert weather days for the nor'easter. We dry out and warm up. We may be approaching 50 by next weekend. And then maybe a setup where we go from rain to snow late in the weekend and into early the following week.
Okay, and there you go on that weather forecast from Chris Glonginger. And thank you for that weather forecast, Chris. And let's take a look at this weather alert for you. A winter storm watch is in effect from January 30th until 7 p.m. February 2nd. Let's take a look at that right now. And as you can see, a winter watch is in effect, as you can all see. And now let's get to your COVID updates. New Hampshire reports 6 more COVID-19 deaths. 6 more New Hampshire residents have died of COVID-19, state health officials announced on Saturday, today. And now let's take a look at your COVID-19 in New Hampshire. What you need to know, let's take a look at that right now. And here is a look at that information for all of you. Right now, there are 64,838 number of people in New Hampshire tested positive for COVID-19. 25,887,625 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 1,036 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 214 current number of hospitalizations for COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 765 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. And let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. Nashua, 488. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. Nashua, 5,736. And let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's take a look at this chart here. New cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple. Daily new positive COVID-19 cases. Orange, new hospitalization. And red, deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Current cases in the purple. Total current COVID-19 cases. Orange, current hospitalization. Let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases in the purple. Total positive COVID-19 cases. Orange, total hospitalization. Red, deaths. And blue, recovered. And let's take a look at this chart here. Positive PCR test rate, positive PCR and antigen test rate, and daily PCR tests. And let's take a look at this chart here. Age group of cases and female and male of cases. And let's take a look at this chart here. Infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And a reminder, common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, difficult breathing, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. COVID-19 vaccination clinics open in North Country. Hospitals say they'll increase clinics as vaccine supplies improve. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Want to extend your weekend adventure? Now you can, right from your own TV.
This is awesome.
Watch all your favorite Litton's Weekend Adventure shows on Explore. Available on Samsung TV Plus.
Littleton Regional Healthcare began administering the COVID-19 vaccine to the public just hours ago.
We'll be doing clinics here at the hospital right now, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're hoping to expand those to at least 5 days a week, hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
This weekend, the hospital will be holding a one-time clinic to help vaccinate those who signed up for their employee clinic by mistake.
By the weekend's end with that clinic, we should have vaccinated about 400 people.
Nurses from their hospital are helping to administer the vaccine, as well as qualified volunteers from across the state.
So now there's at least a light at the end of the tunnel.
Mary Bidgood Wilson is a retired nurse practitioner and has been helping vaccinate people around the North Country.
I didn't realize that I was going to get emotional, but it is emotional. You really, you look at the numbers and you're like, what can we do? And so, to be able to start vaccinating and to be able to help is just so important.
Memorial Hospital in North Conway started vaccinating Thursday.
Right now, until we get more doses, we'll have a Thursday clinic and a Friday clinic. We get more doses, we'll open a Wednesday, a Tuesday, and a Monday. We're hoping to do at least 1,200 vaccinations per week. We could even expand to Saturday and Sunday if we need to.
They are also working on a plan to get doses of the vaccine to those who are homebound.
I think it will just improve as we get doses in. That's going to be the answer that all of our residents are asking for, and I know the state is doing everything they can to make that happen, and we certainly are as well.
Kristen Carosa, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Fire causes significant damage to Stratham home. A fire early Saturday morning significantly damaged a Stratham home and left its residents displaced. The fire was reported just after 3:30 a.m. at a 2-in-1/2-story house at 15 Jack Rabbit Lane, Stratham. Fire Chief Matt Larrabee said the residents were able to evacuate before crews arrived and no one was injured. The fire started in a chimney and spread to other parts of the house, Larrabee said. The home is uninhabitable and the cause of the blaze is under investigation. The frigid temperatures posed a challenge for firefighters. Crews had to keep a steady flow of water going to douse the blaze, as water that spilled on the ground would freeze, Larrabee said. They also had to ensure they were staying safe as they battled the fire. Larrabee said water supply was trucked in by tankers because there are no hydrants in the area. Puck will drop for pond hockey tournament like no other. Of all the people in the Lakes region, perhaps no one was happier to see today's forecast of frigid temperatures than Scott Crowder, founder of New England Pond Hockey Classic. The natural ice, though, doesn't always come on schedule, and that was certainly the case this year, Crowder said. Noted that there was more ice on the Meredith Bay on December 20th than on January 20th. Mother Nature has a way to regressing back to her mean, though, and that's just what happened this week, with the event scheduled for February 5th to the 7th. Her timing was impeachable. Democrats may move forward with relief package without Republicans. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
The politics of this pandemic, President Biden is now urging the passage of a huge relief package with or without Republican support. That is a change of tone for a man who was preaching unity at his inauguration just 10 days ago. For more on that, let's bring in ABC's Andrew Dimbert, who's in our Washington bureau with more. Andrew, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dan. Much like the last round of relief negotiations, Republicans by and large are opposed to the price tag, some $1.9 trillion. But the difference this time, it's Democrats who control the Senate. A rift on relief is splitting Capitol Hill, with a growing number of Republicans opposing the size of President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID-19 stimulus proposal.
I'm not sure I understand why there is a grave emergency right now.
President Biden's call to Congress includes $160 billion for vaccinations, more help for small businesses, and another round of direct payments to most Americans for $1,400. After promising unity and a willingness to work with Republicans in Congress, the president now signaling support for Senate Democrats to move ahead on COVID relief without GOP support.
I support passing COVID relief with support from Republicans if we can get it, but the COVID relief has to pass. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
But Republicans are calling foul, with Senator Lindsey Graham tweeting, apparently very little is being shown by the Biden administration when it comes to bipartisanship on COVID relief. Meanwhile, Biden meeting with the newly appointed Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen Friday morning, saying he's focused on broader relief than most Republicans can stomach.
The president's American Rescue Plan will help millions of people make it to the other side of this pandemic.
All the while, millions of Americans are struggling to put food on the table. The Soup Kitchen in New Jersey feeding hundreds of families. And in Ohio, the National Guard helping hand out more than 40,000 pounds of food.
Myself and my soldiers, have that warm feeling inside knowing that we're doing good for our communities.
And with Democrats holding that narrow control of the Senate, they likely don't need Republican support. And Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says they are prepared to move ahead without it. Eva?
Andrew Denver for us.
Well, hey there, G.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And thank you for joining us for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Have a great rest of your Saturday evening. I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Stay warm this evening, everyone, in this cold weather. Brr. I don't like this cold weather. What about you guys? Comment below and let us know. Have a great evening, and good night and goodbye.